Your News Update, a personalized newsfeed based on your top interests, is coming to Google Podcasts. To make the news even better, it is also coming along with a more natural text to speech offering. Welcome back to Sonic Insights, where we cover audio, voice, and hearable tech news. Your News Update background. Your News Update was initially released in November of 2019. Google launched the product because they ultimately saw an opportunity to use audio as a vessel to create a better overall digital audio experience for everybody. Since they are sitting on a lot of data and are able to cycle through a lot of different variables, they are able to do a good job at finding out what might be relevant to a specific user's interests. However, in order to use this experience before, you either had to prompt a Google Assistant enabled smartphone or smart speaker. Podcast versus Google Assistant. Now the experience has changed. Rather than users having to go through the Google Assistant to use this experience, users can now use Google Podcasts. And if you look under the Explore tab, you can see this offering. In order to create the most relevant content possible, they are looking at interests, location, user history, and preferences. This results in a mix of both local and national publishers with content that mixes across sports, news updates, music, and more. And if you would like to have more control over the news sources that you are looking at, you can go in and ultimately have some control over that manually as well. Improve text-to-speech. While text-to-speech is a fascinating technology and has ultimately unlocked a lot of interesting products, actually listening to an AI-generated voice for an extended period of time can be a pretty cumbersome activity. Google realized this and released a more natural-sounding text-to-speech. To quote their release and goal for the text-to-speech, they created voices that sound more natural and well-suited for reading the news. Think of it as our version of a newscaster. If you are wondering how they did this, they trained the new voice model on longer segments of text and ultimately are claiming that this new tech is able to convert a wealth of content to audio while also giving the experience a way more human feel. For an efficient way to stay up to date with audio, voice, and hearable technology, subscribe to our newsletter, podcast, and YouTube channel by checking us out at sonicinsights.co.